Well, hello, Festival de Con. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a movie I'm very, very excited to watch. I went and saw it in theaters, and I loved it. And Belle! Yes, indeed. The newest film by Mamoru Hosoda. One of my favorite directors, not just in animation, but like working today, just in general. Um, I have. Oh, that turning red. Turning red pose. I have a lot to say about this film, but I want to say at the start, I think you guys know by now, but just in case, I can criticize films and still love them, and I love this film, and there are some things about it I would like to talk about. But we'll get there when we get there, because one of the best things about this film is the soundtrack and the score. So, already off to a great start. This is Millennium Parade. Bo. Let me go ahead and open up the Wikipedia on this while you guys are starting the movie. Google search Wikipedia. Probably be better if I Wikipedia or searched for Belle. So this film is not available yet in the United States, but it is available in Japan. So luckily, I don't mind. I love watching it in the original Japanese. Yeah, let me turn it down a bit so I can hear myself think. Though I really don't want to. I would not mind. I'll put this on. I'll put the soundtrack on at like max volume. It's great, especially the hang on, the Kaho Nakamura stuff. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about because I love Kaho Nakamura, and I didn't even know who she was until this came out. Okay, so if you've seen Summer Wars, which we have on here on this podcast, this is very reminiscent of the intro to Summer Wars, where they're introducing Oz. Hosoda, for his age, I'm not certain how old he is specifically, but for his age, he certainly has been like Makoto Shinkai uses a lot of technology, like modern day tech, in his films, but he's a lot younger. Hosoda, he's been using technology as far back as our war game. So he's really into, I guess, technology. He's also really into female leads and like powerful female characters, which is really cool. And I think I mentioned it in Summer Wars. I was very interested in his dynamics with like different women in his life, because a lot of his films center Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Not so much Summer Wars. That had a male protagonist. I mean, it had a whole family of protagonists. Boy and the Beast was a boy. Wolf Children, that was a woman. Oh my God, Wolf Children. I'm gonna have to reckon with a lot of things. Remember that shot, by the way. That's a setup. I'm gonna have to reckon with a lot of things when we watch Wolf Children. Good God, you guys might hear me cry. Oh my God. Okay. Hey, Suzu. Okay, so one of the coolest things. So we've watched Titan AE, and how cool is it that we've done enough of these that I can reference older podcast episodes? In Titan AE, I was talking about how there's like a separation between the 2D animation, and then there's like 3D models, and then 3D animation, and there's a lot of different art styles that's purposeful, and not all the time, but certain times. In this film, it's very much it's reminiscent of Code Lyoko, if you remember that at all. But it was 2D animation in the real world, and then when they went into the computer simulated world, it was 3D animation. And this film is similar, but it's not as jarring because when they're in the world of you, it's very it's still 2D animation, but it's like computer animated 2D animation. And I really like how it's not all that foreign. Also, is the chipped mug supposed to symbolize her trauma, as well as the dog missing a leg? Oh. I love Kaho Nakamura's voice. This film is about trauma, or overcoming trauma. Of course. This film is about trauma and not recovering from it. That would be a very dour film. I love the shots. I love the music. It's a lot of it's when it the my main criticisms with this film have to do with the story and a few of its characters. That by the technical standards, this film is a masterpiece. And I spoke once again, referencing a previous episode. We talked a lot about Wall-E, about how Pixar does a fantastic job of when this shot was in the trailer. I thought the boy with the mask, I thought he was like Beast. I was like, oh, spoilers. Turns out he's just there and nowhere else. What was I saying? Yeah, Pixar. When you create a film, when you use animation as a medium, there's so many things you can do with animation that you cannot do in live action. And Pixar does a really good job of just going the crap out there and just using the medium to their absolute advantage. Hosoda does that fantastically in this film. Like when we're in the real world, it's the same fare, but when you go into you, it really is like a fantastical phantasmagoria of what animated films can do, and it's wonderful. Hiro-chan. I love Hiro. Come on, join the canoe club. Ah! It's like he's attacking them. Sugoi yo ne. I've been reading. Okay, so Pachinko came out. The Korean. I thought it was a movie, but it's a television series on Apple Plus. But I've been reading the book, and it's about a Korean family in the 1930s, 40s. It's over the span of like 50 years, but it's a Korean family who immigrates to Japan, and when they start having scenes in Japan, there's a lot of like Japanese phrases and words. And it's hilarious whenever I see that, because I'm like, oh, I actually know what that means. I don't need to translate that. Someone will ask a question and end it with like, nah. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, that's not really a proposal. We were 6. I watched this in theater. They had 2 showings that weekend, or that day. I don't know how many days and or showings they had total. But every time they showed it, they had the English dub, and then they had it subbed. And of course, I watched it subbed. It was great. I was actually surprised by how many people went to the sub showing. But, I mean, they're probably all the anime aficionados. Okay, we got some backstory here. And some wonderful music. Oh, I love the soundtrack. Ludwig Forssell does a lot of the songs, but there's a lot of music that's not him. So I'm not going to say, oh, Ludwig. I'm not going to credit him for the whole soundtrack because he didn't do everything, but it's great. I'm actually trying to pull up his bona fides because I know he did something. He's done other stuff. Death Stranding, there you go. And Metal Gear Solid 5. He does a lot of Hideo Kojima stuff. And a lot of Hosoda stuff. They're setting up that she can swim. Oh, look, technology. I like how they use this as they're, like, doing a montage of, like, how technology has evolved. Because that's clearly not the Apple devices that they have when she gets older. Look how in tune with music she is. I didn't catch that. There's a lot of things I didn't catch on the first viewing because there's a lot of things that you don't piece together until, well, it's not pieced together. It's there. But on a second viewing, I've only seen this once in theater. There's so many things you catch on a second viewing. So like right there, I'm like, oh, so she was really into music. That's clear later on, but. I don't remember if they reveal whether or not the child. Oh yeah. Oh okay. I'm fairly certain I mentioned it. It's a sad scene, by the way, to put it mildly. Yeah, we'll talk about him later. What was I going to say? Yeah, Hosoda's films. Is it Charades? Is that his studio? Here, let me double check. No, it's we saw that too. Studio Chizu, that's what it is. So I don't know if it's Studio Chizu, if like they have a specific art style, and it's very innocent and like I've always described it as innocent, but that's very shallow to what I want to refer. Oh, Madhouse. Oh, Madhouse and then Studio Chizu. Okay, never mind then. 2011. Okay, he worked at Madhouse and then went and formed Studio Chizu. Okay. But his art style is very innocent, and just the art style like can pull at your heartstrings. You know what I'm saying? Trauma, manifest. Manifest! Ooh, he drumming. Oh, they ballin'. This is what grief does to you. Oh, that was the eggshell. I guess that makes sense because this is loosely based on a fairy tale, so they have another fairy tale, the egg. As soon as I realized like what the film was going to be about, I was like, "Oh my god, VTubers. They've invaded." That's basically what Peggy Sue and everybody else are. That wasn't really like a karaoke cafe or karaoke parlor. That was like, it was just like a room you can rent out and watch TV or stuff with your friends. That's the same tune that we'll hear later. Yeah, so as I understand it, this is like a psychosomatic symptom of her trauma. That's what I'm understanding it as, anyway. Because her mom was super into music and singing, and so whenever she sings, she can't physically sing, because then her trauma is like, no. You will be you. Okay, so you, if you go up and look up at, Kaho Nakamura. We're gonna get conspiracy for a second here, and hopefully we can be quick about it. Because we've got a lot to talk about. We've got a whole bunch to talk about. Okay, so Kaho Nakamura voices Suzu, and she sings Belle's music and everything. She's the main singer. She's what makes this movie spectacular. Her debut album was Aino, A-I-N-O-U. And if you look at the album cover, it's A-I... Hang on. A-I-N-O, and then U is specifically separated. It's like a different color and everything, just the letter U in that. And that came out in 2019. In January 2019, the music video. Okay, so it was made by 2019. And I don't know if Hosoda made The World Called You as a nod to that, or if Nakamura chose that in a nod to this. I don't know if it was a nod one way or the other, or if it wasn't a nod at all. We're gonna get to the conspiracy level, though. Also, they don't allow you to customize your person. Oh, Susan means Belle. You should go into the world, girl. We got a movie to start. We're gonna just listen to the music, by the way. I love Gail's song. How expensive is this? I do love how this is essentially, it is science fantasy, And I love how this isn't actually going on. Like, they're not physically going through this. It's not like the system's jacking into them like Dot Hack. But we're kind of bridging that gap and suspending our disbelief. If you haven't yet, just buy the soundtrack. Don't even question it. Just love it. I wonder if that post would have been in Turning Red had this film came out before Turning Red was done. Oh yeah, this film, this film gained a bit of notoriety because when it was finished screening at the Cannes Film Festival, it received a standing ovation for 14 minutes. And I don't base much of anything on that because Michael Moore has like 2 or 3 films on the top 10 list of standing ovations. So I honestly, it doesn't matter to me, but the people there loved it for 14 minutes. I just thought it was funny whenever that article came out because it was all the rage. Like everyone was talking about, 14 minutes of cons. I'm like, okay. He doesn't know. Axolotl! I absolutely adore. Remember back in Summer Wars, which came out in like 2006 or 7? They had like translations, but they all popped up. Yeah, like text box, like those back there. But I love how here, they're still translating, but it's a lot more like lavish, not lavish, but like there's still like the little translator circles. See, it's like translating everything. It's a lot more ornate. There you go. It's a lot more stylish. Unobtrusive. Oh, we're gonna see that baby later. Okay, so if you didn't notice, which it was easy not to know, or it was easy to see, she can sing here. So one of the themes is not, I don't want to say escapism, but, you know, a lot of people can be themselves online that they can't be in person. Like me. You think I talk a lot? You think I would host a podcast in real time in conversation? I don't even know what that means. So, like, she can't sing in person, she feels, because of her trauma, but she can sing when she's not herself and being Belle. Because she's able to extricate herself. Look how happy she is. Humpty Dumpty, that's the egg. Kitty cat! Can you pet the cat in Belle? Hell yeah, you can. Well, Suzu does. Look how happy she is. That's all she needed. Whoa! I guess you could say she's trending. Okay, so Hosoda has a big grasp on, like, technology. He also has a huge grasp on internet culture. Because this is exactly what happens these days. People take a song and they remix it, and then it goes, like, viral. I loved this scene the first time I saw it. I was like, oh my god, this is actually legit how it would work. Crazy fashion. What do you mean crazy fashion? She didn't have a choice. It created that for her. What a bitch! Not for long! Well, yeah, because it's going to take another hour and a half for that to come full circle. I feel ya. I can't stop singing it either. Look at that mosaic. Look at that mermaid dress. I love mermaid dresses. One of the things in this film is that they explain that there's a lot of people who love her music, like a lot, but there's also an equal amount of people that don't care for it. And they kind of explain it, but it never, like, it doesn't mean anything much. I guess except to describe that some people don't like her. I love her so much. She's like an evil mad genius. I'm getting roasted like crazy. Minor league. Yeah, they explain it right here. Do you know how many people are half of people in you? Like millions. Her friend is also, like, meanly blunt. Who is Belle? It's probably not that old man. She's got the hoo-hoo-hoo laugh. A mousy country bumpkin. Oh! I love her avatar, too. Okay, so I'm assuming that was to explain why she doesn't get rich off of this, but why wouldn't she get rich off of this? Perhaps not to leave a money trail so people will find her, but... Oh, this isn't the callback I was referring to, by the way. This is still a setup. Why wouldn't you profit from this? Ah! Peggy Sue! Get out of here. Moto! They don't like what the computer's doing to their daughter. That's amazing. I love that scene. Congratulations, graduates! Did summer break. 1992, 2016, 2018, 2019. They don't make this clear until much later into the film, but these women were their choir team with their mom, with her mom. I don't remember them explaining that until the big emotional climax of the film. She also looks familiar. Has she not been here until lately? Because they should know that she can't sing. I'm assuming she only came back to join them after she sang in Oz, or You. Because it doesn't make sense why they would be so insistent after her she hasn't sung for like 10 years. And then all of a sudden, you gotta sing! That was deep. Because you're old women. What is happiness? What is love? I think Hathaway said it best. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Do, 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 do. Oh, okay. We've got so much to talk about. We've got him right there. We've got so much to talk about him later. He is probably my least favorite character in this film. Should we just talk about it now? Because we're going to talk about it at some point, and we might have more to talk about later. I cannot stand his character because you've already seen this film. If you're listening to this, you've already seen this. Spoiler warning, by the way, if you haven't. At the end of the film, he turns into like a normal, jovial man boy. All right? But throughout the entire damn film, he's this strict... Look, he's like this. He's like strict and mean to her, but like so protective. And then when she finally like breaks out of her shell, he's like, oh, well, I don't have to protect you anymore. I could be happy and nice around you. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why weren't you that way for? And even if that were, we never get to see him happy and jovial. The only time we ever see him, he's like this, like mean and strict and So when he finally, we don't know as a character what he's sacrificing in order to protect Suzu in his mind. It would have been far better had we seen him happy and jovial, and then, oh, well, Suzu's mom died. I have to be firm and strict, and I need to protect her and all that. But they don't explain him being happy and jovial. Like, they should have done that with him being with her, and then we see the dichotomy between, oh, well, he has to be strict around Suzu to protect her, but he's jovial outside of everyone. And then we get a sense of Suzu feeling that loss, and that's adding more to her trauma, right? But that doesn't happen. It bugs me. I love the film. I need to get that straight, because a lot of people hear criticism and think you hate everything about the film. No, I love the film. But as far as characters go, he has probably the weakest character in the film. Here we go! I wonder how much money those people had to pay for these digital seats. Diamonds are forever. A kiss on the hand might be quite continental. That's actually not at all. I'm not a fan of that dress. Even though it's gigantic and a tiara. Not my favorite outfit in the film. Look, she's swimming with the fishes. Those are whales. They're not fish. Get it right. Woo! We got wet. Oh my god! Imagine watching this in 3D. Oh my god! Imagine the finale to this film, or the emotional finale of the film. That was foreshadowing for what my thoughts are on the ending of this. Still not my favorite outfit. You can do better, Belle. Hashtag better Belle. Whee! I like how she's known for her singing, but like they're doing everything they can not for her to sing immediately. Like, I mean, I guess people paid, and so they have to make it, like, fancy, but you think people would be there to listen to her sing and not dance around. She's not even dancing, she's just, like, hovering. Come on, Belle! Sing it! Oh, I guess that was her entrance. Oh, that looked like the... Honestly, that looks like the Charades logo at the beginning of the film. Uh-oh. Here we go! Tokyo Dome. Oh, look. There's Beast. This is probably Ludwig Forsell. This screams Swedish composer. This cello. I guess the fancy translators, I guess that only is when they're singing. It's a beast. Captain Cosma? I guess that was his claws, but it sounded like a sword. Also, a good thing about Hosoda setting his films in digital arenas is that you can murder whoever you want and it's not actually murder because they're like digital constructs. Oh, by the way, it's a good thing they explained that those things on his cape are bruises, because you wouldn't have any idea what the heck they are without that explanation. Okay, so they introduce them, but they don't do anything. It's like in Moulin Rouge at the beginning. They explain that the women are Ziegler's diamond dogs, and then that never comes up ever again. The only antagonist in this... Okay, one of the antagonists in this film is not one of these people, I don't think. But there's like... This is like the Super Saiyan team force. But we don't see any of them for much at all. It's always the blonde-haired guy with the cannon arm. So, like, they set up these people to be, like, major antagonists, and it doesn't go anywhere. Just don't introduce them. It'll save you, like, 5 seconds on your total runtiming, too. Don't look at me! You came here! Of your own volition. I'm guessing he's just trying... Yeah, this guy. This is the antagonist that we spent time with. I'm assuming Beast is just here. He's a troublemaker. He's lashing out because he's being abused at home. If you haven't... Spoilers, but you have seen this movie. Also, I'm assuming this person... I'm assuming he's a program and not a person behind a screen. Also, I love that. I love how he has sponsors. I love that detail. I mean, he's analogous to like an admin or a mod. But I assumed that he was a program construct, like an automated AI mod, and not like a physical person. But I guess he could be because he shows signs of surprise and stuff throughout the film. So maybe he is a human behind the computer screen. Although it's odd, they're basically trying to ban him from the servers. Why can't you just ban him? Why do you have to do this? The world building is really good, but it does have some questions here and there. Let's go for another round. Why'd you have to do it off screen? They're digital programs. You could show violence. The kids will love it. See, I think this is the last time we see these people. Which, I mean, I guess they got frozen. I mean, I guess showing them to be, like, major antagonists, I guess that was a setup for that moment, and showing how Beast is how powerful he is now. But I don't know, it's still very underwhelming when they set them up to be, like, the antagonist force of the film. Like the Ginyu Force. Super Saiyan. The Samurai Pizza Cats. Also, that's her dad, is it not? Why is she so antagonistic towards her dad? Belle cancels concert. I mean, she had no choice. Oh, good. She has a Nokia smartphone. Look, she's smart as hell, too. Look at her. She's like, the guy from Summer Wars. This guy, I like his character more than the other guy. SNSO? Is that the equivalent to SMS in Japan? That they had to move it because her parents... I love her so much. Arrow. Is that supposed to mean something? Doctor. Police officer. Ah! Remember him? Did his brother throw the match just to make his brother feel better? That's what I want to know. Are those bruises? Those are the weirdest looking bruises I've ever seen. Look, they're concealing themselves. Damn. Did they have a green screen up to make it look like they were outside? We've seen her before, but you don't know that yet. Look, she has glasses and made her hair like she's older. Is she supposed to be her purse? Some of the visual gags in this are great. Uber Eats. Yo! I love how stock photos managed to become a plot point in this film. Fox. Uh-oh. Fox. He plays for the Boston Red Sox? Go, go, doggo. Resignation. Beast. Oh, dragon. So this film is Ryu to Sobakasu no Hime. The Dragon and the Freckled Princess. It's not Belle in Japanese. What? Hero. Why would you say that? We should explore that. But they're happy. One is depressed and the other one's spaced the crap out. But they're happy. Hello. Oh. We should hang on, let's go back to that chat room. Who is he? The plot thickens. Although the mystery angle's not nearly all that. I hate to say this. The mystery is not all that compelling. Also, this film, it sort of commentates on cancel culture, sort of. But it really doesn't say anything about it. I guess that maybe cancel culture, like canceling people, like they're not... Sometimes it's misguided. Sometimes the people you cancel are legitimate. They have like legitimately good reasons to do what they do. I don't know. They present it, but they don't really comment on it much. Like this whole thing that they're putting out, oh, they're the beast, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, we need to explain ourselves. It's sort of analogous to cancel culture, but not really. Uh-oh. Why don't you talk to your dad? Why is that? Explain it. Look at these friends. Friends! If I lived in Japan, I could go eat somen with my Japanese BFF. Ooh. Apartments so that you can live not in the real world. Oh, how convenient! That she has extra lessons. The same night that Belle has to meet Beast alone. You know what? Maybe the antagonist blonde guy with the cannon, maybe he's not an AI. Because maybe in this universe, AI always have to present themselves as, I'm an AI. I know everything. I also love the sequence. I love the different art styles. Does the AI know that her creator, is into Belle secretly? I'm assuming they know that he's into her and that's why they're helping her out. Oh, our master creator has viewed this person over 20,000 times. See, now his brother's helping out. That's not an AI. Also, how did he construct this castle in an environment, like, how did he create this castle and keep it secret from the mods and admins? U isn't open source, is it? Oh, I guess they were trying to... What? They were trying to stop her. Maybe it was only his brother that got her there. And they were just trying to confuse her constantly. I'll show you, only you. We were going in circles. Himitsu, the secret roses. I'm trying to think of what the secret roses symbolize. Da. Not to be disrespectful to the Japanese language. Look at his eyes. He looked like he would have enjoyed doing that. So obviously, okay, so we find out later that these two children are abused by their father. How on earth did they get the money to buy two U devices? Also, I don't know what's going on in the real world for this to be happening. Maybe his brother was trying to leave the room or something because his brother was yelling at Belle. Oh, they're trying to throw us off. I guess Belle thinks that the angel's an AI, maybe? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to piece together what's going on in the real world, because we're not supposed to know that until later. Oh, she's in love with a bad boy! I mean, you could call him a bad boy. He did threaten to eat her head, so... Ohio. How did they know she said Ohio and not she was saying hello? A lone wolf. Aww. I actually looked it up. The word uta does mean song, but it also could mean poem. So you could actually read it as like a song is like spoken poetry or sung poetry. It's very pretty. It often gets translated either way, poem and or song. So like from air, tori no uta can be translated as bird's poem or bird's song. Or you could do it my way and make it sound all mellifluous-like and be like, oh, it's the birds sung poetry. But that's a bit too extravagant. I'm assuming there's some efficiency that comes with translating and editing. Maybe when she's Belle, maybe she's not actually physically singing, and that's why she's able to sing. And now as she's confronting her trauma, she's able to sing in reality now. Maybe? Smartphone. Uh-oh. Okay, so this is another sequence that I don't think needs to be in the film. I'm sorry. I love this film. This whole scene is just padding out the runtime. And yes, it's fun and creative and artistic, and I love the strategy game style, but it's very unnecessary to the plot. Like, this is a fun sequence, but also not necessary. Especially when we get to the end of the film and I've got more criticism, and they could have spent this time doing other things. War! Conquer them all! Chigayo! He would never date me. You know what? Now that you mention it, it does seem a little far-fetched. You are just childhood friends, after all. Like, that whole sequence is very inconsequential. Gomene, gomene, gomene! Yeah, I love it. She's behind that saxophone. Because she's a pretty girl. You know what? I guess it was necessary, and the fact that it gives pretense to Luca being interested in him. But she's not interested in him. She's interested in him, right? So that scene was inconsequential. Oh, it's him. It drives me up the wall that he's putting on an act, essentially. He's such a happy and, like... He's such a happy person, and whenever he's around Suzu, he has to put on this facade, and I hate it. Like, when was he going to reveal that this was all a lie, and he's actually, oh, well, I don't have to protect you anymore. I can be normal and happy now. I don't have to be stern with you anymore. That is a big-ass kayak, my man. Look at that. He's got a waterproof phone case. Remember that photograph. No one's ever rooted for me before. She doesn't even know what to say. She's like, what? Remember, kids, when you're offering up humor to the masses, it's important to know who your audience is. Always remember. That's what Grandma Dana always said. Remember to know your audience, Sonny. Tape it or die, Daniel. Yeah, let's keep cutting back to them as children. When he was also stern. At some point, he became like a happy-go-lucky individual. And then decided to hide it from Suzu. Under the pretense of, oh, well, I've got to protect her. And for some reason to do that, I can't be happy and myself around her. It's so silly. Luca Brasi. Oh my god, this is the Godfather now. I'm here for you. Been there. Maybe she is into her childhood friend, but she was into... She gets interested in Surfer Boy later. I thought they end up, because there's that gratuitous humor scene later on in the train station, or the bus station. I don't think we ever find out whether or not that's his mom. Oh, I should probably point out that this film is very much inspired by Beauty and the Beast by de Beaumont. Uh, it also, Hosoda's a big fan apparently of the Disney animated film from the 90s. You want to know how I know that? Because this scene right here. Look, this is shot for shot Beauty and the Beast right here. I posted it on Twitter. Go away! Like, they're too adorable. I wouldn't be able to take the AI seriously. This is also, from... I haven't read the original Beauty and the Beast. But I'm assuming... This is also in the film where Belle runs out and she's accosted by wolves. Okay, she was attacked by wolves. Belle is accosted. Words have definitions and contexts. And connotations. She was aggressively accosted, Belle, by wolves in the 1991 Disney version. Origin. Then everyone will know that you're a normal person. Haha. Your facade is everything. Your brand is everything. Which is true in today's society. Well, you wanted to know how he got his bruises. Here's one source of them. Okay, for all of you who hate modmins, there you go. Murder! Well, that wasn't really murder. That was them being stupid. Not on my watch! Hell yeah. I don't know. You own the system. How can't you not find him easily? He constructed that damn castle right under your nose. He hacked into the system. Whoever designed you, I'm assuming there's a lot of money that's gone into it. And like branding if they've got sponsors. How did they allow somebody to go in and hack a castle into it that no one can find? That's like going into World of Warcraft and making your own castle and Blizzard doesn't even know about it. Okay, so Kaho Nakamura, who voices Belle, if you listen to her music, it's nothing like this. She does a lot of pop jazz music, and it's actually really good. But it is nothing like... This is like classical music, and it's interesting to see the dichotomy. Because this is definitely not what her music is. I wonder if she had to, like, change her mindset about, like, her voice and everything for this film. I would like to see interviews with her about this movie. Also, you can turn up the music. Pump up the volume. I still don't know what the secret roses are there to symbolize. That's a glow up, by the way. Compared to the last dress I was complaining about. This is probably the best one. Even though the pistols and stamen sticking out of her bosom is kind of off-putting. For being honest. I don't know if Hosoda wants you to think about this, but this is all happening with his brother in the room. And as soon as I realized that the first time I watched this, as soon as they reveal like what's going on behind the computer screen, I was like, "Oh my god, this whole love sequence is going on. His brother's sitting right over there. What's he thinking?" It's very silly. I don't know if you're supposed to think about that, but it's kind of it's humorous to think. Unless he's like, "Go out of the room, brother." Although this isn't supposed to be romantic, we're about to see an example right here. I love that shot very much. She goes in for a kiss and he relents. And so she understands consent, people. And she's like, "I'll give you a hug instead." Dude, those U earbuds, that's a good shot. Those U earbuds. So in the real world, their dad has come into the room and has started beating them up. We will find out later. They are abused by their father, yes. Okay, so Money in the Bank. Obviously this film is not a love story. But I would have to imagine the people who translated it have a little bit more insight than I would. Like, they've probably had some communication with Hosoda, right? Or somebody who worked on the film when they translated it. At the end of the film, the guy, Beast, says... Oh, here's cancel culture, by the way. This is what I was referring to. But it's kind of like an allegory for it. At the end of the film, Beast he tells Belle that he loves her very much. And I don't know if that's an overstatement in the translation. He says daisuki, which could mean love, but it also could mean a very much an admiration for. But the translation says love, like, I love you very much. And it's implied at the end of the film that it is romantic, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's supposed to be romantic. I think it's supposed to be them finding human acceptance and, like, friendship and warmth and, you know, which would make more sense because I know Japan has a lot of men and women who, they're like, I don't want to say loners, but they're not socially active. You know, so the whole taking a love story like Beauty and the Beast and modernizing it and making it not about love but about human affection to one another and like being held by others. I don't think it's meant to be a love story, essentially. But the translators, I don't know if they're arguing or not. Yes, it is. No, it's because you're a baby. She's not a cute baby, but okay. Get her! Oh, there's some Looney Tunes sound effects. I miss you too, Belle. Girl, you gotta hide your hair better. I'm sorry. You're not doing enough. Oh, Doberman. Cats. Oh, boy. Call her up on her cell phone. Yo, girl, where you at? I'm being held prisoner and interrogated. So he has debug powers. Or he's been granted debug powers. This guy is the law enforcement. Wow, he really is an overzealous moderator. I wish they would better build up how... I wish they would give Suzu more of a necessity for Oz for you. Because her being unveiled really has no consequence. But if they had better set up the fact that she can't sing without it, if they had better set that up, this would be a lot more tense, because we'd be like, oh my god, if she loses her ability, if she loses this, she can't sing anymore. I mean, I guess they are, because he's saying this, so maybe not. Like, what powers does Beast have? How good of a hacker is he if he can do all this? Dude, he's one badass hacker. Beast is, not him. Yeah, she gone. Uh-oh. Oh, is that the secret rose? Oh. Okay, so that's why the secret rose is a big deal. For contrivance. Because she just happened to lose a rose petal. Okay, that explains it. Plot contrivance. It's not a plot hole, it's a plot contrivance. They're two very different things. Why don't they talk? I guess it's a part of her trauma, but maybe she, like, blames him for not having protected her mom? I don't know. Oh, it's this scene. I actually scrubbed through this, and this scene is only about, like, 3 minutes, but in the theater, when I watched it the first time, this scene dragged on. For what seemed like 10 minutes. Oh, maybe it wasn't this scene. I have no confidence, and I am pretty creepy. Oh, so it was... Okay, so she has always been into the kayaker guy. Kawaii no! Love me some doggos. I know who you like. Hey, there's a Thunderhead from Summer Wars. We never see the bullies, but from what I know, Japanese schools are notoriously ripe for bullies. From what I from what I understand, I'm a silly American man. From what I understand, conformity is a very big deal in Japan. And if you are not a part of the norm, you are asking for bullies to come at you. Hopefully that has changed, but I have played visual novels that have been produced by Japanese people who do depict bullies in that fashion. Oh, this is the scene. Okay. This scene drags on. And it's only, like I said, it's only 3 minutes, but it feels like a lot longer than that. These extended pauses don't help. He woke up one day and all of a sudden everyone's rooting for him all of a sudden. No one's ever done that before. Oh, here we go. See, we know he's joking, but she doesn't. Are? This was the only scene where people laughed in the theater, so maybe the humor is just not my brand of humor. I mean, I understand what the humor is, it's just not anything that has me in stitches. I think when he walks back in this time, I think that's when everyone started laughing. I didn't, because I thought the scene was lasting forever. Music. Haven't you seen my saxophone? I mean, you do now. You're pink-faced. No, you're not related. She's a computer program, Belle. That's a pretty big step for not even being in a relationship currently. I mean, they're not even friends, right? I mean, they're like acquaintances. Oh god, here we go. This guy again. What? How did you find that out? See ya. How did he find that out? Ow. Did you see how rocky that beach was? Her knees have got to hurt right now. Get home, quick! They tracked the IP address on the rose petals! What did the roses do? Sponsorship! I love that. It reinforces that everyone's just doing this to have, like, a public face. Like, it really calls into question, like, the substance behind what the guy is doing. I'm guessing that's the same mascot, the cracked egg that Suzu has on her backpack, so I'm assuming she's watching this stream because she's a fan of these people who commentate on social media. They're like those people who commentate on YouTube drama. What losers! I love how real this is in comparison. Oh, she can get to you on the go. That's a powerful phone. iPhone, baby. They punched me in the GPU. I was gonna say, they're just AI. Ooh. Secret tunnel! I saw that someone left a message in Elden Ring that was secret tunnel. It was great. Avatar, baby. He's talking about his dad. Why can't you? What a stupid plan by the sponsor guy. As far as I know, he doesn't have a name. Otherwise, I would call him by his name. They don't ever name him. He'll come scurrying out. Okay, well, he's scurried out, you dumbass. Go get him. Oh, we escaped right under our noses. It's not the best plan. Well, not the most well thought out plan, anyway. Oh, they got Belle on camera, but not Beast? Why were they talking about his old elementary school? I mean, I know it's to get them here with Belle and everybody, but why on earth were they talking about that? Oh, Justin, they just said his name. Yeah, sure enough, Justin. Wow. Okay. I just look at the cast list, the roster, the credits. Shaky cam. How did you know? They just knew, I guess. How did they know? She wrote the song. Well, no. They didn't hear that song she sang for Beast. Yeah, here's where, like, the non-mystery comes into play. Who was Beast? I mean, it's not all that mysterious. Obviously, it's none of these people. Oh my god, that would suck if she was falling in love with an old white man. Oh, that's what that bruise was there to set up. I was going to point it out, and I was like, that's an odd thing. But I was curious to see if it gets paid off, and sure enough, it did. Oh, wait, that's what she took from that. Oh, he didn't want me to kiss him because he's a kid. I always thought it was a thing about consent, and she recognized that he wasn't into it, and so she gave him a hug instead of a kiss because he wasn't wanting a kiss. But I guess it was just because he was a kid. Never mind. I like my explanation better. The death of the filmmaker is the birth of the viewer. Look, he's singing the song that she sang. They never explain what's wrong with it. I phrased that terribly. They never explain what's going on with him, because he's kind of like spacey. There's nothing wrong with him. Oh my god, that shouldn't be possible. It's like CSI Miami science. He's not a bad boy. Is that song that she sang? Kigasete. Is that song available to the public? Because he knows it, but I don't know if everyone else does. See, I don't know if he has, like, autism or... They don't explain it. And his dad certainly doesn't care. But he doesn't get bruised. It's only his brother that the dad beats up on. Oh, he has 14. Okay, so he might be a misguided youth after all. Never mind. Look, I pointed that out. I pointed that out too. Yo, I'm on the ball. Oh, his phone is cracked. Oh, I didn't put that together the first time. I don't know why. It was very blatant. I still need to figure out why they know. She was practicing music, Suzu was. So did they hear her practicing the song and then later on realize, oh, that's the song that Belle is singing? I don't know, that all happened off screen. Oh, here comes another plot contrivance, I think. I think it's here. What? I would say that sounds like Hocus Pocus, but it's a digital world, so. Digimon. 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 Digital monsters. Digimon are the champions. That's appropriately sung here because Hosoda did direct a Digimon song. Digimon film. Well, it was more like a Digimon OVA. It wasn't really a film. It wasn't feature length. Four Kids or Fox TV had to combine 3 of them to make it motion length. Yeah, right. That's so dumb. I forgot what the point of that was. But that was as far as I'm aware right now, that was a completely worthless thing in terms of the story. And I can't recall what happens because of that. Tuskaru. Oh, I guess that was there when the people jumped in. I guess that was to reinforce his doubt that, oh, well, that could be anybody hopping on, not Belle. I did it for you, man. It's good to know that error message is like open domain for anybody to use. It's not just, it doesn't just belong to like YouTube when videos error fails. Everybody's here. Okay, do something. I'll poke you with a stick if you don't. Good job. That's the one thing he does in the movie. Not even kidding. Look at that egg. Like the siren song. Okay, so this is the best part of the film. I'm not even gonna lie. Prove it's you! He said his name, he said Tomo, but they didn't put that in the subtitles. Alright, here comes her trauma. What a mean friend. What a mean friend. You're not even making any... This would make more sense if they were actually taking that money. But they're receiving nothing from her being Belle, so what's the point? Nothing changes. Except fame, I guess, but they weren't even using that to their advantage, really. The fact that they don't take money from Belle actually is the detriment to the story right now. Because her friend has... Her friend, Hiroka, right? Is that her? Yeah, Hiroka. Hiroka has no reason to be against this plan. If they were making money, then she would be like, imagine all the money we could make if you stayed as Belle. I just noticed that. It's a good shot. Here we go. Did he do it, or did she somehow force him to do it? That's what I was wondering on first viewing. Because he didn't seem, insistent to do it. If anything, you would think he would want her to stay as Belle to draw out the beast. Whoa! This is like a scene in Summer Wars. Who did, Oh, speaking of... Cartoon Saloon! The people behind Wolfwalkers, back row seating alumnus. They did the background work for you, by the way. Fun fact. And they also had Jin Kim from Disney, who was their first ever Korean animator back in 1989 or 91 or somewhere. They had him help Belle, and they had another Disney animator. They called in some favors. That's why in Turning Red, there's a scene, that's why I mentioned it earlier. There's a scene... Oh, she was working on this. Maybe, okay, so maybe that's how everyone knows, because they knew that... Well, no, because she's just now singing this song for this. So no, they wouldn't have heard it. All they would have thought is, oh, Belle's working on music. I don't know. Shut up! You make no sense! Okay, she's got to combat her trauma, ladies and gentlemen. Can she sing as herself and not as a construct? Tarak, tarak, tarak. She got unveiled. What a loser. Stupid character constructs. You've been unveiled for the horrible human beings you are. How's that? Screw it, I'm turning the volume up. Okay, so obviously I don't think this is the perfect film. I love the film, by the way. I do have criticisms about it, but as far as like the central plot of the film being Suzu combating her trauma and coming to terms with everything and being able to sing, that's done very well. And the emotional payoff is phantasmagorical. It's the moon. Why would she die? Unless she recognized the child was like a loose cannon, and if she didn't get her way, then... Oh, well, I guess the river's flooding might have gotten worse and taken that little bed over. I don't know. Na 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 na. I can't turn it up too much because you'll hear it in the microphone. I guess I can mute it in post if I have to. I should also point out that Kylie McNeil does the English dub for Belle, and she does a fantastic job herself. La 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 la. You got it. You guys better be singing too. Yo, he's losing his sponsorship, yo. Hell yeah. You get what you fucking deserve. It doesn't quite hit me and like choke me up like the end of Civil Wars does, but it does a pretty good job. I just watched the best sequence in all of Belle. Ask me anything. So yeah, that's easily the best part of the film. That whole sequence, right there. It's all one song on the soundtrack. Yeah, that's me. That's everyone right now. Sugoi. Yeah, you do. Yeah, duh. Obviously that's Belle. Did you see her transform into Belle in front of your own eyes? Do it. Yo. Got him. She played him like a damn fiddle! Okay, so this easily should be the climax of the film. We should be aiming towards the ending of the film right now, right? Well, no, because we've got 15 minutes left. That is obviously where the high point of the film should be, and then we should end the film, right? No, we've got storylines that we need to wrap up. Oh, that's why those people were recording the thing and posted it and it went viral. And apparently their dad is on TikTok and saw it. Yeah, this would look good. More abuse on the internet. Good job, Dad. Oh no, now we can't feel good anymore. Even though we just watched the best sequence ever. Okay, see, this mystery right here is it's more intuitive and more suspenseful than who was Beast. And they're just in the same room for this all. Good ears. It's too. Oh, here we go again. That's impossible, by the way. You cannot improve the definition like that. Look, everyone's contributing. Look, it's the photo he had around his neck. Yeah, bros! It's really good that they set that up, that the police can't do anything for 48 hours. Because otherwise it would seem really dumb. If Suzu's like, oh, we should call the police and help them out immediately. No, can do. Their lives are in danger. Let me take the train. She's a kid. She's a high school student. I don't care what her decision is. She's apparently going to confront an abusive built dad who's an absolute unit. Send her back up. Oh, look, it's the time of COVID. Although in Asia, I know a lot of people wear masks in consideration of others. Just in general, not during a pandemic. Only Americans do that, and they don't do it very well. Look, we're getting some closure. I should point out, while we were listening, I was reading up on the Wikipedia article, and one of... Hang on, Belle, yeah. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Joe Morgenstern of the Wall Street Journal, they quote him as in his review of this saying, "There's too much plot for the film to manage. but its heart and sumptuous art, and so firmly in the right place that its appeal comes through sweet and clear. I could not agree more. This film has a lot of heart to it. It has a bit too much plot, and it's not resolved, and the plot's not told as well as it could be. But it's I don't want to say style over substance, because there is substance. And that sounds incredibly harsher than I mean it to be. But this film definitely is I would say Summer Wars is still a better story. I know a lot of people are saying this is Hosoda's like magnum opus. But I think Wolf Children and Summer Wars are still higher tier, maybe. Kaho Naga. I feel so bad. Kaho Nakamura. She absolutely kills it. But aside from her, she kind of like saves the movie, I guess. Well, no, that's harsh too. This movie's good. The ending, it has 2 endings, and it didn't need the second one. This second ending, honestly, it only hurts it more, because why on earth is this high school student going to confront an abusive dad who was enraged at the internet seeing his abuse? Okay, I'm curious to see how the English subs on the Blu-ray, the Japanese Blu-ray, explain this, or how they translate it as. Because in the theater, he says, "I love you very much." I've never dealt with an abusive parent before, but I would imagine that this is probably not the best way of going about it. This girl has corrupted you, hasn't she? I mean, I guess this goes back to him saying, if I endure it, it'll all be better. But I don't know if that's the moral that people should be taking away from this. Yeah, it's a girl. Did he not know that? From the skirt? Oh, look, that's the pose! That's the girl who leapt through time. I was going to say, what if he had a gun? But this isn't the United States. My bad. This is definitely not the way to go about rescuing children from an abusive parent, by the way. Because he could easily kill her. But it's a film and he doesn't do it. And he collapses to the ground in shame. What have I done, sweet Jesus? What have I done? Beat up a girl in the night and become a dog on the run. Bet you weren't expecting Les Mis musical reference in this film commentary. I sure wasn't. Belle. Belle. What? You're the only person who would ever hug me. Better. Okay, translators, solve my dilemma for me. See, this is like romance again. It's a bit confusing. See, he said Daisuki Deo, and they translated it as I love you. So maybe it is romantic. It's very confusing. And that's like the whole crux of the film, is their relationship, right? But I don't know if it's supposed to be platonic, if it's supposed to be romantic. It's not clear. And we're left going, what? Well, I am. So yeah, this film has two endings, and I think the second ending hurts it more than anything. They should have just ended it. They should have not had as many plot points to tie up, and they should have just ended it after the big emotional climax of the film. Dad! Sure. Look, she's gonna repair her relationship with her father now. Tadaima. Okaeri. All these people are like, who is this guy? Your dad? Oh yeah, the whole second ending thing. Let's progress this. Wait, how did he see that she protected them? Was there someone hiding with the camera? This is so stupid. Why couldn't you have been normal friends this whole damn time? Why did you feel compelled to be somebody else? I don't like him. He does one thing in the movie. He's just a contradiction. Oh, Summer Wars, Thunderhead. Michibi ite. And scene. Belle! Sing the song from that movie, Belle. Date! Kawaranai mono. Whoops! We're crossing the movies! Oh no! That's a lot of I say this a lot when I play visual novels. That's a lot of Japanese characters for the word that they're translating it as. Obviously, it is longer in Japanese. Ryu to soba kasu no hime. So that was Belle. That's how you spell Kaho Nakamura's name. I would highly recommend checking out some of her music. I don't like jazz, really. But her music is like pop jazz, and it's a lot more listenable and accessible than like straight up jazz, which is I really can't get into. Like hardcore jazz is just noise to me. Better. Okay, I'm looking on Wikipedia. She's only 3 years older than he is. So I guess it's not all that odd if it is from... That's a wonderful still, by the way. Good job, Hosoda. Hey, Ludwig Forcell. There's his name. That's really cool that they add... they don't, like, translate their names, and they keep it what it naturally is. I've seen a lot more people do that. Like, they'll keep translations a lot more honest to the original language, whereas it used to be they would just butcher it and just make it whatever the crap they wanted. You know what I mean? They do that in American translations too now, which is really cool. Oh, Madhouse was involved. Look at that. Doctor Movie. There's a lot of Korean filmmakers involved too. Bigot Wilfried. Yeah! Beskar ready for Jai. Globalization. Great. That's the scene on the poster and the soundtrack. But not on the American version. They have to make it cool and make it look like a Marvel poster. Well, old Marvel posters. The new Marvel posters for like Moon Knight and the Marvels, Miss Marvel, they're like legitimately like unique. I'm excited for Moon Knight. It has not come out yet as I'm watching this, but in the next couple days. Is it next Friday? I believe so. I'm looking it up, but I'm not going to tell you guys because it does not. You guys don't care. Why did I Google up March? I need to Google Moon Knight. Me and Google. I'm very odd about that today for whatever reason. Yeah, it's next weekend. 6 episodes. It'll be part 4, phase 4 of MCU. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Phase 4 doesn't really mean anything. Phase 4 is just whatever they want to put out there. Na 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 na. 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 If you don't like my singing, I guess you have already turned this off already. London Voices. Jean-Christophe Chamboredon. I don't know what his last name was. I was fine for a second there. Lead Foley artist. Isn't everyone a Foley artist? Whoever the Foley artist is who captured that whale noise before the orchestra dropped during the big scene of the film, they deserve money. Dun, na, 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 na. Dun, dun, na, 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 na. Dun, 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 dun. Utae yo tobe minai to ka. Oh, is this right? I was on the spot and I just Googled up the lyrics. And I've already messed them up, I think. Na 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 na. Itsumade uta wa utaitsugu ai shiteru. Itsumade mo. I messed it up again. Just enjoy the music. I should have shut up this whole time. Ma wa utaitsugu ai shiteru. Itsumade mo. I am open for any and all inquests as far as commissions. If you need anything sung professionally, I'm your man. Thank you guys for watching Belle. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I loved it. I had a lot of criticism, but we're all here to learn. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time when we watch something else. Goodbye.